And welcome back. Well, in December of 2011, little Kate Kornetzke was diagnosed with leukemia. By no means has it been an easy road for her or her family, but they're determined to share their story in the hopes of helping others. Kate is here now with her parents, Stacy and Steve, and also with us is Kate Glazner on behalf of the Leukemia Lymphoma Society. And in just a minute, we'll talk about the Milwaukee Oyster Roast to help benefit, but first, I want to talk a little bit to you and also Kate. Hi, Kate. How are you? Good. Do we want to let her say how old she is in the microphone? How old are you, Kate?
4.
You're 4? And when is your birthday?
August.
In August. Very good. Thanks for being here. You look so pretty today. Thank you guys so much for being here and for bringing her and everything. Let's talk a little bit about Kate's story and exactly kind of what happened with her diagnosis and what you've been going through.
Sure. In December of 2011, it started out with just a fever on a Sunday night, and the next day she wasn't feeling very well and started vomiting, and the fever continued, and we called the pediatrician, and they're like, yeah, it sounds like just a virus or a flu-like symptoms. And finally on Tuesday night, she kind of really went downhill really fast. She was throwing up and was not able to even stand up at that point. So I called her pediatrician in the morning. They said take her down to Children's Hospital right away, and they did blood work as soon as we got there, and they were like, did you notice how pale she was? And we're like, no, we've been in a sick room with her for a couple days. We didn't notice how pale she was. And they took blood, and within an hour they told us she had some type of blood cancer or bone marrow cancer.
And what does that mean in terms of moving forward for the family when you kind of learned a little bit about, you hear those words, you're like blood cancer, blood, issues, and that can be so scary for anybody, but especially a parent of a little child who isn't always able to verbalize what they're feeling or how they're doing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, well, at first we're like, you're kidding, right? And the second thing I said was, well, can we help her? Because she was so sick. And they said, yes, there is a treatment plan for this type of cancer. But yeah, it is devastating.
And what has the treatment been like? What have you, since the diagnosis last December, or 2 Decembers ago, really, what have you been doing?
Well, the first month we were pretty much in the hospital. The first month is very intense chemo. They try to put it in remission in the first month. So we were pretty much in the hospital for the first month, most of her treatment. They start chemo right away. She had a PICC line, which they administer her chemo through, or her medicines through a PICC line in her arm. And then eventually she got a port, which is in her chest, how they administer the treatment. The first 8 months were very intense with weekly chemo treatments, and she gets oral treatments at home every day. We give her medicine. Now we're down to monthly treatments for until next February. So monthly we go down to Children's Hospital and have treatments, but we also give her oral chemo medicines at home every day.
It's a lot of maintenance. It's a lot of work for a family. And Steve, this isn't your only child between the two of you. You have more kids?
No, yeah, we have a 9-year-old son at home, so it certainly has impacted him as well.
Have for Kate?
It's been hard on him, especially when we're in the hospital with her, because we both feel we need to be at the hospital, so it's hard for him. But I think with the support of all of our family and friends, we've been able to keep going, and we take one day at a time. And I think when we're home, he's obviously deals with it a little bit better.
And she's happy, and she's beautiful, and she looks so good today. And I think that's something that is so unique, that you're taking what you're going through daily. This is not a battle that you've won or that you're done with, and you're using this to help other families. How and why have you decided that it's so important to combine with other families and help educate other families?
Right, well, we want to help raise awareness, to raise money to find a cure. I mean, to me, 90% cure rate is not acceptable. I want it to be 100%.
And with the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, this is something that you've teamed up for this event. It's the Milwaukee Oyster Roast that you guys are going to be doing. Why is it an important event, and what do you do with the event for other families?
Well, the event raises awareness about blood cancers, and it raises money to help fund research to stop these diseases, which might be the most important thing it does. And also, the funds are used for patient services and educational services that Leukemia Lymphoma Society offers. And it's just a great time. It's a young event. Started by two young guys and a lot of young people there, and
What's
it's
so
a big
unique
party
about it? Yeah, because it really is. It's not your typical event, you know, where you're raising money because it's great and it's fun. You're doing a good cause, but it's really unique and fun.
It is. We take the traditional oyster roast and we put a Milwaukee spin on it by adding beer and motorcycles. And
At the Harley Museum.
At the Harley Museum, and there's live music and a live auction, and Maxie's Southern Comfort will have a raw oyster bar there. There's sampling from local food and beverage vendors. It's going to be a fun night.
So it's fun for people to come out, take part in a very unique event. Here's the information for you. It's Saturday, April 20th. It's the 10th annual Milwaukee Oyster Roast, going on from 6 until midnight at the garage at the Harley-Davidson Museum on Canal Street. You can get tickets by going to the website milwaukeeoysterroast.org or calling the phone number on your screen, 414-785-4273. And I think just looking at Kate's little face, that is a good reason to come out and go to the Oyster Roast. Right, Kate? Are you going to have fun? Yeah? Yeah. Can you give a big smile and a wave to everybody? There you go.
Look at you're on TV. Look at
Say,
the
come
camera.
out to the Oyster Roast. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Thank you.